Hello guys, a very warm welcome to all of you who are present over here. So we are going to discuss about a very important topic, that is the power factor, and I hope I will be able to deliver regular lectures on it on a weekly basis. I really apologize because I have not been able to upload many of my study related lectures lately because I was busy up with something in my life. So talking about life, a word life has come up, and in our daily life, if I'm talking about one thing, that is the electrical. Now since we've come up with the word life actually, so let us discuss something about electrical energy. Now in our daily life, we always think that electrical energy is nothing but our necessity. We always suppose as if this is a necessity. Why do we think it is necessary? Because for example, I am delivering this lecture to you, so basically it would not be possible without a mobile phone, without internet connection, and most of the things, even the light which is available over here, the room light in which I'm sitting, if I feel hot, then I need a lot of cool atmosphere, for which I need a fan. So we always think, or we often think, that electrical energy is nothing but a necessity. But to be very frank, I must tell you, electrical energy is not at all a necessity. It is nothing without which we can die. But actually it is a very important thing, that is luxury. But since we assume that it is not a luxury, it is our basic necessity, that is why we are using it so recklessly. And by using this electrical energy so recklessly at such a you can say at such a high rate, that is why we are harming our environment at a very fast rate. And that is why these days you can see there are so many diseases, there is so much happening, there are so many floods and everything that is happening in this present time. Major reason for it is we are actually using our resources very recklessly, and it's time we save them, it's time we save our planet. So let me tell you, I'm going off the topic, I'm really sorry for that, but still I need to share these facts too. So take electrical energy whenever you're using some equipment at home, so please do consider it as a luxury but not as a necessity. Where you can avoid the things, where you can avoid the use of electrical energy, please do avoid the use of electrical energy or try to waste less. So as we all know very well, that any kind of electrical energy that we are talking about, there are basically four stages, or there are basically four domains. First is the generation, then is the transmission, then is the distribution, and final, actually these are known as G, T and D. And then finally there are several consumers. Consumers as in we are consumers, those sitting at big factories, they are also nothing but consumers. Now basically at these three stages, mainly in the case of transmission, in the case of distribution, and in the case of consumer end, the power factor gets affected. It actually, a power factor, I'm so sorry for the S, consider it as a dollar sign please, and apologize. So a power factor, basically it gets affected at three stages. First is transmission, another is distribution, and third one is the consumer end. Now before going forward, let me very well I would like to tell you something about the power factor. So basically, if I'm talking about the definition of a power factor, so it is nothing but the cosine of the angle between the voltage and the current in the AC circuit. So what is basically the power factor? Power factor is nothing but cosine of angle between the voltage and current in an AC circuit. So I hope actually most of you won't be able to understand this if you are totally niche in this topic, so, or exactly you are very new in this topic. So let me show it graphically or by a drawing. That, say this is the phasor for the voltage. Okay, this is the phasor for the voltage. And then there is the phasor for this current. Definitely the magnitude of current phasor would be lesser. But since you know that most of the circuits are of inductive nature, most of the equipments that we use at the transmission level, what are the equipments that we use at the transmission level? Mainly we make use of a transformer. So a transformer is totally inductive. At the distribution end we use a lot of switchgear. At the consumer end, the mostly used thing is a motor. Motor generally used is the one phase or three phase induction motor, and that is totally inductive. So we will discuss about it later on. So that is why you very well know that in the case of inductive circuits there is a phasor difference, or there is a phase angle difference between the voltage and the current, and generally the current lags behind the voltage, and lagging means clockwise, and anti-clockwise direction we are taking as positive. Okay, so this is the current phasor. So if you have an angular difference between their phasors, this angular difference, that is phi, so the cosine of this angle between the voltage and the current in an AC circuit is known as the power factor. So now you very well know that if you talk about the values of the power factor, so you should know that the larger phi would give you lower value of cos phi. Okay, so if you increase the phase angle difference between the voltage and the current, then the cos phi or your power factor automatically goes down. So larger is the phase difference or the angular difference between the voltage and the current waveforms, lesser would be the power factor. Alright, so now if this is the particular diagram, so now let us take now let us say this is the current I. Now I would try to resolve this current I into two components. Okay, so this is like, I'm going to resolve it like this. I will put a dotted line over here. So one component is over here. This component would be known as I cos phi component. Alright, and the one which is perpendicular over here, that is known as the I sin phi component. I just hope that you know at this stage how to resolve a vector in its two components, that is the horizontal component and the vertical component. Generally you do it by the way of or if you have a doubt, so you can write it down in the comment section. Actually I would be able to explain you over there, or I would make another lecture on this also, of resolving a vector into two components. So at this stage I hope you very well understand. Now the one component which is in phase with the voltage, this component of current is known as the wattful component of current. The one which is in phase with the voltage is known as the wattful component of current, and the one which is perpendicular or which is out of phase, that is 90 degrees out of phase with respect to the voltage, this particular component is known as the watt less or reactive component of current. The maximum value of, or the maximum value of power factor can be unity, or we can call it as 1. So it would be unity when it is unity, when cos phi is equivalent to 1, then phi would be equivalent to cos inverse of 1. So phi would be equivalent to how much? 0 degrees. So whenever there is a 0 phase difference between voltage and current, in that case the power factor would be unity. It also is an indication that the efficiency of such a system is 100%. But is it actually attainable? It is not attainable. Alright, so but Still we have to take cos pi unity at times of calculations, so which we will discuss in the later like section. Numericals, okay, related to electrical engineering. So somewhere you would find the word power factor, like it's written, for example, somewhere cos phi equals to 0.7 lagging, all right, and somewhere in some other question it would be written cos pi is equivalent to 0.7 leading. So what it actually means, it means that in the case of lagging, it means that it is an inductive circuit. Okay, the circuit is inductive in nature. And whenever the word leading is mentioned, so now I hope you can guess it correct, that is a capacitive circuit in which the current actually leads the voltage by a particular angle. Okay, so another very important is the power triangle. So all right, basic phasor diagram. Say we've got a lagging power factor wherein there is an inductive nature of circuit, and when there is an inductive nature of circuit, then the current is going to lag behind the voltage by an angle of phi, and cosine of this angle between the voltage and the current waveform is known as the power factor. So now if I draw the phasor diagram, so for example this is the voltage phasor that is taken as the reference. Now since anti-clockwise is taken as the positive direction, so going in the clockwise direction would be termed as going towards the negative or going towards the lagging. So for example, there is a lagging power factor, so the phase difference between the voltage and the current phasors would be an angle of phi over here. Now as we already have done in the earlier section, that you can resolve any vector into its two components. One is known as the horizontal component, and that horizontal component can be like known as I cos phi, and then we've got the vertical component as well, and that vertical component can be related to the sine component, or that is I sin phi, because obviously the perpendicular is involved. For the base of the triangle, the base is involved, and the power factor, that is cos phi, is involved. Now if you look at this particular diagram, so what you see over here is nothing but the power factor or the power triangle. So let me redraw this diagram over here. So when I redraw this, so we have got say for example, in phase with the voltage V, we know that the product of voltage and the current is nothing but the power. So what I get over here is Vi cos phi, so that is the base of this particular triangle. Now the perpendicular component, again when it is multiplied with the voltage V, so it gives me Vi sin phi, and the resultant of both of them, again the multiplication of V and I, is simple Vi. So this is the perpendicular, as you all can see, and this is the hypotenuse. If you look at any triangle, a right angle triangle, so here is the right angle, here is the power factor angle, that is phi. So this, what you can see over here, is nothing but the power triangle. This is also the power triangle, but this is more accurate. Now as you all know that this I cos phi component, as I had already told you, that was the watt full component of current. I sin phi is known as the watt less component of current. The wattful component of current, whenever it is multiplied by voltage, it gives you the power, and that power, which is represented by P, is nothing but the active power, or you call it as the wattful power. I've got two names actually. This is either the active power, which is more commonly used, or you can call it what? The wattful component of power. Now the one which I get over here, where the voltage is multiplied with the wattless component, where the reactive current is involved, or it is known as the wattless component of current, I sin phi, or it is also known as the reactive component of current, and hence the name which gets to the power, that is the multiplication of voltage and I sin phi, that is the what you can say is the watt less component or the reactive component. So somewhere over here what you get is the perpendicular is known as the reactive power. Alright, and this reactive power is basically represented by the letter Q, and you can use other notations as well, but as far as I have studied, so I have come across P and Q. If you refer to some other book which can take it as some other symbol, so that is totally up to you. So this is just a symbol, and as someone said, what's in a name, so definitely it does not matter, but only the function of those should be clear. And then the multiplication of the resultant of current or the total current and the total voltage of the circuit. So this power on the multiplication, this is known as the apparent power. Okay, so ultimately we've got, there are three kinds of powers. So we've got power in the case of AC circuits, since we are dealing with AC circuits more, and in the case of AC it is the case that the voltage and current are not in phase with each other, and that is how the concept of power factor comes in. In the case of DC, the concept of power factor is not considered because there is a phase, like the phase of voltage and current is definitely the same, but as it is only the case of AC that you've got the power of three types. So the first one that we have got over here is the active power.
No.
The first one that we are getting is known as the active power. Okay, so active power. The second one is known as the reactive power. And the third one is known as the apparent power. Okay, now the active power is also the watt full component of power which does some useful work. Now for example, I've got the field winding is responsible for maintenance of the magnetic field in a motor. Field. Very the magnetic field. Alright. You require a magnetizing current, that is IM. So let me exactly tell you now what is the function or what are the three kinds of power. Say for example, I've got a fan in my room. So in this fan there will be one motor installed. Alright. From this power that is coming in, that is the product of the total voltage and the total current. This power is known as the apparent power. Okay, that is indicated by this by this S. ठीक है ना? So this is the total power that is coming in by the fan. Now from this fan, the amount of power that has been used, the amount of power that is used for some required or useful work done is known as the active power, whose rating is given in kilowatts. Okay, now the power which is used in order to maintain magnetic field in the motor which is installed in the fan is known as the reactive power, and that rating is given in kilovolt ampere reactive. Okay, so I will repeat now. The total power that is coming in, the total power coming in from supply. Okay, so this is the total power that is coming in from the supply. Its rating is in kilovolt ampere and it is known as the apparent power. Now from this total power that is coming into the fan, the amount of power that has been used to do some desired work is known as the active power. What is the desired work in the case of a fan? Desired work is to provide it rotation at a specific speed so that there is an airflow maintained in our room. So this is the useful work done for which the power which is being utilized. This is known as the active power whose rating is given in kilowatts. Okay. Now the next one is the reactive power. So the amount of power that has been used in order to maintain the magnetic field in the motor of the fan is known as the reactive power. So I hope with this concept of active power, reactive power and the apparent power is clear. Okay. So this was just an example. Okay. Now I would like to draw the power triangle with you again. So for example, now these are some of the like conclusions. First observation that we are going to make is, say again we will look at this particular triangle. So this was observation 1 and now this is observation 2. So you very well know that what is the cos phi power factor or cos phi. Cos phi is given by the mathematical formula or the trigonometrical formula is base upon the hypotenuse. Okay, so what is the base? Base is basically OA upon hypotenuse is OB. Okay, so what is basically OA? OA is VI cos phi upon OB is how much? VI. Okay, so what is this VI cos phi known as? VI cos phi is known as the active power upon VI is the apparent power. So this is another observation that I have made or anybody makes from this power triangle. So this is another definition which crops up or which arises, that power factor is the ratio of active power to apparent power in the circuit. So this arises one more definition. Okay, of one more definition of what? One more definition of the power factor. Now another thing, another observation or another important thing that I need to tell you over here, that a lagging reactive power causes low power factor. Okay, so let me make one a comparison of two power triangles. Say for example this is the first one, so this is the voltage that is V, and say this is the current that is I. Okay, now if you've resolved it into two components, so here is what? I cos phi and this one is I sin phi, and say this is what? Phi 1. Another one I will take. Say again this is the same voltage V, but now the power factor angle is larger. Okay, this one is larger. So now again you will resolve it into two components. So you will get I cos phi and this is I sin phi. So now let us take it as phi 1. So this will be phi 1 and this is what? Phi 2. Okay. So what I am able to see over here, that more the reactive power, okay, that is in lagging. Okay, so that will cause the power factor angle to increase, and when the power factor angle increases, that results in a lower value of cos phi. That is the low power factor. Example, I have been given an example. I will explain something by example to you. Say for example the voltage is given as 200 volts, the current is say 9 amperes, and the cos phi or the power factor is given as say 0.8 lagging. Okay, so you have to calculate first the apparent power. So this is S is given by V multiplied by I. So V is 200 multiplied by 9. So that is 200 multiplied by 9 is 1800 volt ampere. Okay, understood? Now the next one is the active power is given by VI cos phi. So 200 multiplied by 9 multiplied by cos phi is 0.8. So you get over here 200 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 0.8. It is 1440. Now this is watts. Okay. Now another one is what? Q, that is the reactive power, that is VI sin phi. So that is 200 multiplied by 9 multiplied by now sin phi. So sin phi is what? Sin phi is, we have to just find out now. So we will say that cos phi is given as 0.8. So phi is cos inverse of 0.8. So that is, so you've got a shift cos inverse, okay, 0.8. So that is given by 36.87 degrees. That is phi. I have rounded off up to 2 decimal places. So sin phi would be equivalent to, now sine of 36.87 is given by 0.6. So you can substitute over here 0.6. So you will get 200 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 0.6. So you will get 1080 volt ampere reactive. Okay, volt ampere reactive. So what do you actually understand from this? We are basically understanding that the total power that has been received from the supply, which is the apparent power, is 800 volt amperes. So this is the total power, out of which the power that has been utilized to do some useful work is known as the active power, or the watt full component of power. And the Q, this is the watt less component of power, and this has been used to maintain magnetic field. Now let me tell you, you cannot do without this. Okay, because if you want a motor to operate, then that motor has got an electrical domain, another one is the magnetic domain. So for maintaining that magnetic domain, in order to produce that motion of the conductors which causes the rotation of any motor shaft, so for that you definitely need to maintain the magnetic field, and that magnetic field does create the use of or the setup of or the requirement of reactive power. So that cannot be ignored. Okay, so now disadvantages of low power factor, the active and the reactive powers. So first of all, let me tell you, whenever you are taking or talking about one phase AC circuit, then for one phase AC circuit, the power is given by line voltage, line current multiplied by cos phi. So from over here, what you can say that the term current is given by power divided by, now when this is over here, so VL and cos pi, which were in multiplication, when they go to the other side of the equal to sign, then they will go in division, so they will come down. That is upon VL cos phi. Same is the case for three phase AC circuit. So for three phase AC circuit, power is given by under root 3 VL IL multiplied by cos of phi. So IL is given by power divided by under root 3 VL multiplied by cos of phi. So from these two expressions for current, what we are able to interpret from these, that now you can say that there is an inverse proportionality between the current and the power factor, that is cos phi. Over here you can say there is an inverse proportionality So you can overall come to the conclusion over here that current is inversely proportional to power factor. That is, I is inversely proportional to cos phi. That means when the power factor, that is when the value of cos phi decreases, then obviously the value of current increases, and when the value of the power factor increases, then the value of the current decreases in the circuit. Okay, so I hope that you are able to understand it, right? This is basically nothing but a mathematical proof of disadvantages of the low power factor. So now I am saying that if the value of cos phi is low, because of which the value of current goes high. Now when the value of the current is going high, so it is further causing several problems, because whenever something happens, it does create an effect. Cause is the increase of power factor, but now what is the effect that has been created? The effect is that whenever the current is high, so in the case of high current, then definitely the copper losses, or what you call as I square R losses, are also going to increase. So what you can say that the I square R losses are also known as the copper losses. When the copper losses are increasing, so you know very well that the efficiency of any system is given by the ratio of output to the input, which can be further expanded as output upon output plus the losses. So whenever is some kind of losses, then on increase of the losses, the value of the denominator increases, and when the value of the denominator increases, so the overall the fractions value comes down. So from here you can say that the system efficiency goes low. So when the system efficiency goes low, so another thing increases, and that is the costs associated, they increase. So what you want, the second thing which is involved, or second mathematical term wherein the value of current plays a very important role, that is the voltage. So voltage is given by the product of I multiplied by R according to a basic Ohm's law. So whenever the value of current is increasing, then the associated voltage drops, which are given by I multiplied by R. So those voltage drops are also going to increase. So whenever the voltage drops are going to increase, say for example, this is the supply end voltage, these are your voltage drops, and finally you get over here is the receiving end voltage. The receiving end voltage will be less as compared to supply end voltage. So again voltage drops are going to increase. So whenever the desired voltage that you want, you are unable to get at the receiving end, so in that case you will have to increase the supply end voltage in order to attain the required receiving end voltage if you are not getting the desired one. So when this happens, you will have to further increase your supply end voltage. So again, if you have to do this, you will require a lot of money. So this world actually works in terms of money. That is what I have learned till date. So whenever there is a financial loss, So that is not a very desirable thing. Okay, so this is another thing. Now whenever the voltage is being affected, now whenever this voltage is being affected, why it was affected? Because of voltage drops. If that happens, that causes further problems. The first problem, low performance of devices. Which are the devices involved? The devices involved are alternators, transformers, transmission lines, distributors, motors. So overall, the performance of all the devices also comes down in one way or the other. What is the other effect of variation in voltage? Obviously, if you have a voltage fluctuation, then you will have to install a voltage regulator. Can you get it in free? No, you cannot get it in free. So for getting a voltage regulator, what you need is the cost, or what you need is the money. So there are many costs associated. So again, it is financially not very suitable to have a low power factor. Another disadvantage of high current, because of the high value of current and low power factor. One more disadvantage, when there is a high amount of current, that means there is more rate of flow of charge. If that happens, in that case you will have to provide more space for charge movement. How is that possible? By larger conductor size. That is possible by the larger conductor size. So will you be able to make it up out of air? No, you will have to go and purchase it from some organization, larger conductors. So will they give it in free? No, again it has got costs associated. Value of active power, that is P, is given by VI cos phi. Reactive power is given by VI sin phi. Apparent power is given by VI. Can you substitute the value of VI in this expression? So when you do that, what you come down to is power is given by, instead of VI, I can put up over here S multiplied by cos phi. So what you get over here, that apparent power, that is S, is given by P divided by cos phi. So another inverse proportionality is coming up over here. So whenever there is a low power factor, then the kVA rating or the apparent power is increasing. So now you can say that when the cos phi, that is the power factor, gets low, it causes apparent power or apparent power, that is S, to increase. When it is increasing, then you will have to provide larger kVA rating of equipments. coming down to the causes, everything, there is no smoke without a fire, as you always say. If there is fire, definitely somewhere some smoke has been created. So similarly, if there is a low power factor, then there has to be a specific reason for it. So let us try to explore the reason. Actually, you all know the answer, but we are just trying to explore things mathematically, or we are trying to understand them in a very systematic manner. I hope you find this all useful, and if you do, then please do like, share, and subscribe. All the AC motors are induction type, which are either one phase or three phase motors. So you very well know that a large magnetic field is involved. So whenever there is a magnetic field involved, so because of that magnetic field, or in order to maintain that magnetic field, you will have to provide the large value of magnetizing current, and that magnetizing current causes a lot of reactive power to be used, because of which the current, the total current, it lags the total voltage by a very large value. So when the phi increases, in that case the cos phi drastically reduces. In the case of light loaded conditions, in the case of lightly loaded motors, I'm not going into the details of lightly and full load motors, but I hope you understand that. And if you are not able to, then I would, if you request me, I would love to actually explain the concept to you. But if you really require that, please do leave that in the comment section. So no issues at all. So in the lightly loaded conditions, the value of power factor remains 0.2 to 0.3, and in the case of fully loaded motor conditions, the power factor is maintained 0.8 to 0.9. Okay, now there are arc lamps, there are electric discharge lamps, and industrial furnaces. So these things also actually reduce the power factor up to a very large extent. And next is again load variation. Yes, this is a very important topic, that is load variation or the load fluctuation. So what basically happens is that load is totally dependent on the consumer. Okay, so load basically is very much dependent on the consumer. Acha, do you even know what is this load? Is it some mechanical load on the system, or is it some electrical load on the system? It obviously is an electrical like load on the system, and load is nothing but in kilowatts. So let me tell you very well that whenever you are talking about kilowatts, any load is rated in kilowatts, or you call the wattage. It is because of that load that you multiply it with the hours, so you will get the energy or the units for which you pay a bill for. So I hope this concept is there in your minds if you are watching this somewhere. So the load variation, so what happens is that whenever the load on the system reduces, so obviously that is going to cause the supply voltage to increase, or not exactly increase, but you can say that supply voltage is like, comparatively it is larger, or it is higher as compared to the receiving end voltage, because of which the magnetizing current again increases. Okay, so again, when you know very well that when the current is increasing, so that obviously means that your power factor has gone down. So these are many of the things. So thanks to the scientists who have actually worked on it, or the researchers who have worked on it, the power factor can be very well improved. But before that, by a device, okay, that is a capacitor. First let me tell you, by something known as a capacitor, because capacitor has a thing that is known as the leading, like in the case of capacitor the current is leading the voltage, so this gives the advantage to power factor improvement. But basically let me like tell you how does it actually work. आ गई, but how does it actually work? Oh, let me